Let's do an opening song. Let's do Hine Matov. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov, Hine Matov. Ya la 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 la. Hine Matov, Hine Matov. Ya la 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 la. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim. Ya la 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 la. Hine Matov u'manayim. Ya la 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 la. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov, Hine Matov. Ya la 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 la. Hine Matov, Hine Matov. Ya la 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 la. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim. Ya la 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 la. Hine Matov u'manayim. Ya la 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 la. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos to everyone. Thank you, Gordon. I feel like I have to say the band is back together because Gordon has been away for a number of weeks with a concert at Sonoma State that I know went very, very, not a concert, a performance.
Yeah, it was no elephants.
No elephants.
No lions.
No lions, but wonderful nonetheless. And I'm, as many of you know, I led services with Ruby Finkelstein in his absence, and she did a wonderful job, but it's so great to have you back. Thank you. And it's wonderful to see all of you. You know, this Shabbat, the Shabbat before the 4th of July weekend, is sort of like the Shabbat in between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. The only people who show up are the real diehards, so it's great to see all of you. I know you probably have lots of plans, fun things to do this weekend, so it's great that you're with us. Hi, Nadia, to kick it off. I want to offer a special welcome to a few people here. First of all, Benjamin, welcome back to the congregation. And Ellen, I want you to introduce your family. We'll go to you first. Martha, Richard, anything you want to say about Ben? Anything you want to say to us? Am I embarrassing you horribly? Okay, well, we're happy you're with us tonight. Okay, and Ellen, would you introduce we have this is Lador Vador. We have a truly multi-generational family situation here.
Truly multi-generational. My son-in-law, Robbie, my daughter, Jody, my granddaughter, Marley, and her best friend, Sunny, who spends every summer with me, and my other granddaughter, Esty, and both Marley and Sunny for 2 years have been camp counselors at Camp Havarim and come up from LA to do CBS camp. So, Lador Vador.
Thank you very much. And I saw them this week and last week, and they did a phenomenal job at Camp Havarim. So we're happy that your family is with you for a while. Anyone else? Any special introductions that anyone wants to make? So before we, did I see a hand? Okay. Anything you want to say? No. Okay. Well, thanks for the acknowledgement.
There's a hand up in the back right
there. Okay. Let's hear what you have to say.
I was in Chicago last week, and it really was my granddaughter who lives in Montana, who's 17, that said, I want to go to your 60th high school reunion. I was at the 10th, and it might not have been on my mind. And she came, and everyone was just so thrilled because she was the age we all left at this reunion. And it was just a beautiful experience.
Thank you. Your 60th was in Chicago last week. Okay, well, that's a good segue before we light our Shabbat candles. Any joys and joys that people want to share? Anything wonderful that has happened to you? Any simchas in the last couple of weeks? Or anything that's been a little bit challenging where you need community support, to share with us? Nadia, we'll start with you.
I had my daughter and grandson who live in Australia visiting with me for the last 2 weeks, and had made major progress on my house. Probably subtracted about 3 months worth of work for me. Anyway, it was wonderful to see them.
Good. Thank you. And I know you're doing a lot of work on the house, and we won't go into all the details about that. Rebecca.
So last week, Joe and I were on what was probably one of the best trips of our lives. We were in Banff, Canada, and we were enjoying the day canoeing on Lake Minnewanka, and as if it couldn't get any better, we saw a group of people wearing kippahs and women with long black skirts, and we went over to say good Shabbos to them because we figure probably don't meet a lot of Jews up here in Canada. And of course, we got to playing Jewish geography. And as soon as we mentioned that we were from Napa, and I said, we're the only shul that has a wine bar, of course, one woman says, oh, my mother belongs to CBS. You must know her. I said, what's her name? She said, Bonnie Feynman. I said, you've got to be kidding me. So it was just a wonderful reminder that no matter where you go, you're with family. So.
Thank you. It's amazing. We're only 15 or 16 million Jews all over the world, and yet we're everywhere. I remember a number of years ago, I was in Newfoundland in the Maritimes in Canada. Anyone been to Newfoundland, just north of Nova Scotia? A couple of you have. I was in I did a hike, and I was in a really remote area overlooking the Atlantic Ocean. A woman and her husband were nearby, and I started talking to them. Turned out, of course, they were Jewish. They knew my aunt, who was a teacher in Highland Park, Illinois, a suburb of Chicago. And we played Jewish geography also. So, we're small but mighty, just like CBS. Anybody else? Anything to share? Okay, well, we are going to get started. So I'm going to invite Catherine up to light our Shabbat candles, and you can follow along on page 120 in your prayer books.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu
b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu
lehadlik ner
shel
Catherine, I think Gordon would agree with me. We have heard probably 7, 8, 9 different melodies for the blessing over the Shabbat candles, but you nailed it. So that was exactly correct, and thank you very much. Thank you. So we're going to continue with Shalom Aleichem on page 142.
Last night we were talking about the movie Bad Shabbos. I don't know if anybody has seen that film. You assume that they were pretty religious. They seemed pretty observant. When they lit the candles, I don't know if you noticed that, they sang the Hanukkah melody.
I did notice
Yes. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Okay, let's see. What page are we on? 42. I haven't been here in a while, you see. I forget. Okay. Let's do it here. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We're going to do it a little lower. Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boseichem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
The Chatzi Kaddish is on page 144.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shmei Rabbah B'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlik malchutei b'chayechon uv'yom echon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uv'izman karif v'imeru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach la'olam u'almei almaya Yitbarach, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar, V'yithale, V'yithalal, Shemei Dekudesha Barichu, Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, Da'amiron b'yama, V'imeru, amen.
Our call to worship, the Baruch Hu, is on page 146. If you are able, please rise.
Lai la la lai la lai la lai lai. Lai la la lai la lai la lai lai. Lai la lai 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 la lai lai lai. Lai la la lai 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 lai. Lai la lai 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 lai. Lai la la lai 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Please join me at the bottom of page 149 in English. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. Page 151. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works, in the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha v'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavacha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivdecha b'veitecha uvlektecha v'derech uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam laot al yadecha v'hayu latotafot beinenecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha lema'an tiskaru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai Vitem Kedoshim Lelohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher Hotzeti Etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim Liot Lachem Lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Page 158. So this prayer that has been set to a melody, Mi Chamocha is one that I think is familiar to many of you. Tomorrow, as we all know, is Independence Day, the 4th of July in this country. In some ways, this song, this prayer, is Independence Day for the Jewish people. Miriam and the Israelite women sing in joy and ecstatic rapture after they have crossed the Sea of Reeds and they are finally free of bondage in Egypt and the oppression of Pharaoh. But we know from this story, they travel for the next 40 years. And we know from the Torah portion tomorrow that we'll be studying here and from other Torah portions connected to it, there's a lot of work that has to be done. Freedom is not free. It takes organization, it takes participation, it takes the involvement of all the members of society in order to create a thriving and healthy nation. So this is only the beginning of the freedom of the Jewish people. So as we celebrate the freedom, the independence of our country tomorrow and over this weekend, let's also think tonight, this Shabbat, about the moment of freedom for the Jewish people many millennia ago when they finally were free from bondage and really had the challenge to build a new nation and eventually make it back to the promised land and building a whole new society that generation after generation up until the present day would thrive in. So Gordon, please, page 158.
And this melody kind of combines that ancient text to a contemporary great American folk song. So there you go. And plus, Miriam wouldn't talk to me if I didn't do it, so there you go. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot, osef eleh, nora tehilot. Sefer Malchutecha Ra'u Vanecha Bokei Ayam Lifnei Moshe u'Miriam Zeli Anu v'Hamru Adonai imlo Leolam Vaed. Mi chamocha Elim Adonai. Mi chamocha Nedar Bakodesh Norati Lord Ose Fele Norati Lord Ose Fele Norati Lord Ose Fele.
Page 161. I mentioned last week that Mara and I have been talking about holiday plans for the fall, and the very first holiday after Yom Kippur is what? Sukkot. And what is the signature ritual object of Sukkot? The sukkah itself. So as we've done, every year, we are building a sukkah in the back, in the glen, and we are going to hopefully study in it, celebrate in it, eat in it. Last year we did scotch and steak in the sukkah. I think this year we're going to do sake and sushi in the sukkah. We'll see how that goes. But the physical sukkah is very important. We only get to celebrate it for 1 week a year during the festival of Sukkot. But every Shabbat, every Friday night, we get to envelop ourselves in the metaphorical sukkah, in the mystical sukkah, the Sukkot Shalom, the shelter of peace that God covers us with each and every week at the end of the week. So let's first read the English translation of Hashkivenu, and then Gordon's going to lead us in the prayer about this sukkah that we all need and the world needs at a time of strife and division. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukkot shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomrenu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha. Amen. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomrenu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
Amidah is on page 164. Once again, if you're able, please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol v'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayeh HaKol Atah Rab L'Hoshia Morid Hatah Mechalkel Chayim B'Chesed Mechayeh HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayeh Memunato Lishenei Afar Micha Mocha B'Gevurot Umidom Melach Melech Memit Umechayeh Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh U'kdoshim v'chol yom yahalalu chasela Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el hakadosh. Page 180, bottom. Oh, say shalom bimroma, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, Imru, Amen. Oh, say shalom bimroma, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, Amen. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Oh, say shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ועל כל יושבי תבל ואמרו, אמרו, אמן. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
At this point in our service, we pause and think of those in need of healing on this Shabbat, healing of body, healing of spirit, and healing of heart. And we ask God to bestow the bracha, the blessing of refuah shlema, full and complete healing on the following men and women from our congregation or those known and loved by our community. Ilana Massey, Kirk Whitlatch, Kathy Rotto, Aaron Ludden, Michaela Cohen, Tracy Adams, Don Copeland, Nancy Pollock, Pat Shapiro, Denise Robinson, Alianza Chavez, Sherry Levson, Joyce Sheffrin, Doug Gill, Craig Miller, Len Dannon, Judy Nimo, Paul Bisberg, Stacy Bressler, Harriet Lehman, Jolene Jackson, Irving Sten Jr., Megan McCaskey, Susan Early, Terry Wright, Jude Brown, Robbie Josselson, and David Gallagher. And if there is anyone who wants to add a name to our list, I invite you to share it with us. The Misha Berach prayer is on page 511.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishe berach imotenu Mikor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Shabbat Shalom and good Shabbos again, and a special Shabbat Shalom, a special welcome to those of you who are in from out of town or who we haven't seen for a little while. It's always great to have you here. So this week's Torah portion is called Pinchas. We'll be studying it tomorrow morning at 10:30 during Torah study. And it highlights two ideas that I think are profoundly important, not just because they are interesting historically, but because they are relevant to and pressing in our own time. The dangers of extremism and the significance of leadership. This is a timely section in light of our own Independence Day tomorrow. Now, these ideas are interrelated. Without effective moral leadership, extremism and many other problems like injustice and inequality can flourish and damage our societies. We've seen that happen over the last several years all over the world. While Pinchas himself is a clear model of extremism in the Torah, and we'll be talking about him tomorrow morning, the daughters of Tzalafachad, who also appear in this week's Torah portion, represent a key model of leadership, and of female leadership in particular. Two earlier biblical models of leadership are best exemplified by Moses and his brother Aaron. In many ways, as I think some of you know, Moses is the founder of the Jewish nation, an inspirational, but at times fear-inspiring leader who sometimes displays an authoritarian streak. After the Israelites create a golden calf, he punishes them by having them melt it, grind it into powder, and then drink it mixed in water. Pretty harsh. Aaron, his brother, the high priest, is a softer kind of leader, more diplomat and peacemaker than autocrat. During the same golden calf episode, he practices crisis management, acting like one of the people and participating in the actual creation of the calf in order, from his point of view, to prevent an even worse outcome. Now, the daughters of Tzalafachad, who are described in this Torah portion, convey a very different kind of leadership, a model related more to audacity and social criticism than to authority, power, or management technique. These women serve as protesters and disruptors of an unjust status quo. After their father, Tzalafachad, dies, these young daughters, Tzalafachad had no sons, come forward and demand openly and forcefully that they be given the land that their father possessed. At the time, only male heirs or relatives were allowed to inherit the property of the deceased. What they did was very courageous. The fact that these women assert themselves in such a public way, as the text says, at the entrance of the tent of meeting, the major focal point of ancient Israelite society, before Moses and other powerful leaders of the time, is kind of astounding. They refuse to be victims of an unfair system. They boldly argue for the rights of women. Let not our father's name be lost to this clan, they plead before the gathered assembly. Just because he had no son, give us a holding among our father's kinsmen. Moses, persuaded by the moral force of their argument, presents the daughter's case to God. The plea of Tzalafachad's daughters is just, God says. You should give them a hereditary holding among their father's kinsmen. Transfer their father's share to them. As a result of their courage and righteous indignation, the daughters of Tzalafachad not only inherit their father's property, they disrupt and ultimately overturn an unfair status quo. The women establish, through an appeal to justice and sheer force of will, a brand new precedent. This was millennia ago. From this point forward, God decrees, if a man dies without leaving a son, you shall transfer his property to his daughter. Talk about making a change. Now, while this law may not be as egalitarian as most of us would wish for today, it does represent a rupture in and a transformation of the previous system of rights during the biblical period. And it acknowledges and addresses, at least in this particular scenario, discrimination against women. Because the daughters of Tzalafachad, these were all very young women, bear in mind, call truth to power. They reform a systemic ethical problem in the nascent Jewish community. Their protest results in concrete change. They are both social critics and thought leaders at an early and important stage in the life of the nation of Israel. In calling truth to power, in defying authority in order to promote a more just reality, these women have much in common with the prophets who will ultimately follow them. And they show how moral leadership can serve as a corrective to injustice and a catalyst for changing society. On this year's 4th of July, on this year's Independence Day, and in the years ahead, may it be so for all of us. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May it be God's will. We are going to turn to page 586 for the Aleinu, and I'd like to invite Geffen, and where's Aviv? I saw her a second ago. Can you grab her? Or
She's
is she
coming.
like...
She's coming.
She's coming. There she is. Aviv, well, we have two important things to note about the two of them. First of all, Geffen is our next bar mitzvah. Not until January, but he's going to be the very next bar mitzvah for our congregation. So that's an honor for us. And Aviv, she gets an honor because when I visited camp last week and this week, she always ran up and gave me a hug before anyone else said anything to me. And just so you know, that always made me feel so special. Can I have one tonight too? Look at this. Such a good one. She always gives me a great hug. Thank you. So would you open the ark for us, both of you? And everyone else, please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. It is my honor now and privilege to invite up Meredith Cutler, who is one of our new board members and a lay leader of this wonderful congregation. She's going to read our announcements tonight.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
The most recent newsletter with information on all temple events. Oh, I want
You don't have to. You want to stand on your toes? If you'd rather do that, you can.
is available on the CBS website, and there's a takeaway flyer in the lobby. Sunday swims at the Shul with the Pool will take place on Sunday, July 5th in the morning. They will continue every Sunday from now until Labor Day. 2 4-hour swim sessions will take place at 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. Registration is required and can be done online. Please register prior to the day of so we can get lifeguards if needed. Your Right to Resilience will meet on July 9th at 3:30 p.m. Mark your calendars. Our second installment of Lunch and Learn will take place on Wednesday, July 15th. Our first installment of Shared Shabbat Dinner will take place on August 7th. See the website for details. Registration is now open and in fact required for the first of our quarterly Shared Shabbat Dinners on October 7th. A catered main course plus potluck sides and a chance to relax, meet new congregants, and enjoy a great Shabbat meal together. August 7th, following a slightly abbreviated 6 o'clock service. Find the event online with all the details. Help make this shared Shabbat a successful one. Reminder, CBS is still participating in the vehicle donation program. Make Shabbat sweeter by contributing baked goods to our weekly Onegs. I know some folks brought some baked goods tonight, and it smelled delicious. Tonight's Oneg is sponsored by Kathleen Connery. We'd like to give warm wishes to this week's birthdays and anniversaries. Happy birthday to Shane Soldinger, Andrew Starr, Ada Press, Doran Blinderman, Stan Press, Mark Stamrick, Phil Oram, Elizabeth Eisenstark, Ryan Kane, Cindy Water, and Shai Wasserman. And happy anniversary to Andrew and Trish Florsheim, Shara and Phil Oram, Ruth and Fred Waltz. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you. Meredith, I think that was your very first announcements as a new board? It was the second one. Oh, I missed the first one. Okay. Well, you did great. Look forward to many more. As we near the end of our service, we think of those who are no longer with us, those who have passed on both recently and in seasons past. We think of those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. On this Shabbat, we think of those who died during the past 12 months. Judy Lynn, Claude Rua, Alan Jerome Simon, Donna Schechter, Carolyn Goldman, Victor Alcott, Robin Frank, Mark James Milberg, Joan Wilmert, Buddy Melian, Marilyn Szatska, Joshua Ariel Stolman, Audrey Lieberstein, Ernie Hine, Myra Lieber, and Evelyn Sherman. We also remember and honor the yahrzeits, the anniversaries of the deaths of Leah Blevis, Marty Greenstein, Ruth Jowitz, Rosalind Frankenstein, Morris Rubin, Hattie Schwartz, Clara Freed, Belle Altman, Abe Trucker, Pearl Sherman, Rosalie Rubin Becker, Dorothy Krauser, Eileen Schumer Craig, Dr. Leo H. Pollock, Etta Kessler, Christina Suarez Gonzalez, Michael Danilowitz, Joseph Lazarus, Makla Wolstein, and Lawrence Larry Elson. And if anyone has a name they'd like to add, I invite you to share it with us. The mourner's Kaddish is on page 598. Please rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei rabbah be'alma divrach heruteh v'yamlich malchuteh b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayed dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mivarach le'alam u'lamei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudsha barichu La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the source of peace grant peace to all those in mourning and comfort to all those who are bereaved. And let us all say amen. Please be seated. We are going to turn now to our final song, followed by Kiddush Emotzi.
Oh, okay. I guess that
That's
would
you.
be me. I was trying to find the right key.
I mean, I could sing it too, but they don't want that. I wouldn't subject them to that.
Okay, we're going to do a kind of, we're going to do an Adon Olam version that I came up with about 30 seconds ago. 625. No, I thought about this a little bit more in advance. Okay. Hopefully you'll recognize this melody. I know that Hannah certainly will. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivrach Li'et Nasa V'chefsocho Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'acharei Hiklot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora V'hu Haya V'hu Hoveh V'hu Yeh B'tifara. Instead of doing the next verses, let's just do that one again, because now we're getting the hang of it, okay? Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivrach Li'et Nasa V'chefsocho Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'acharei Hiklot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora V'hu Haya V'hu Hoveh V'hu Yeh B'tifara.
Thank you. How many different melodies can that particular prayer, Adon Olam, I've heard lots of different contemporary melodies associated with it.
613 melodies.
613, okay. I'm not quite sure why those words, why that prayer lends itself to different melodies like that, but you can talk about that at the Oneg afterwards.
Okay.
So let's rise for the Kiddush and Motzi. Geffen, you want to come up? I'm going to let you hold this. You can't drink it, but you can hold it. Unless your mom and dad say it's okay. Okay. No, you're going to just...
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
Borei Pari Hagafen.
Amen.
L'chaim. Thank you. And now, in anticipation of our Oneg, we're going to do the Motzi. Why don't you hold this too?
Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam
hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. V'te'avon.
Happy 4th and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat 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 Shalom.
Okay, nice doing business with you.
Hey,